Since the dawn of time, man has only wanted one thing, and that was food. And with the marketing of Pepsi Man, Doritos Crash Course 2, Sneak King, and Chester's Cheetos Too Cool to Fool, we bring you Cheez-it the Game.
Thank you for asking. Yes, this is Cheez-it the Game, and it's always been one of my favorite games to talk about because out of all these games shown on my home menu, Cheez-it the Game sticks out to me because I could personally say that it's my game. I made it. And although it's pretty simple, it's my first Nintendo Switch game. And just a year ago, the official Cheez-it asked me to show the game. Now, as Cheez-it the Game was in development, I didn't know exactly what was available to use when making it. With time passing, I can confidently say I found a much better way to make games on my Nintendo Switch. And with my new knowledge of 3D modeling and Blender, Cheez-it the Game will most likely be updated into 3D. Let me know your opinions on the original Cheez-it the Game, and if you want to see it updated.
Now I needed to learn more about Godot 3.5 and Blender. If I was going to make a Cheez-it game on my Nintendo Switch, that's where I would start. But I needed to know if Godot was a real solution to having no game engine.
To my joy, it worked, and I was now able to start using Godot 3.5 and use more of Blender. For those of you wondering, I couldn't use Godot 4.0, as exporting to the Nintendo Switch required a dev kit, and I don't have a dev kit. By the end of this month, I got a third-person character controller working, and a decent Cheez-it model. In February, I started planning where to push my ideas, storyboarding and landing on an idea where the Cheez-it would leave its store and eventually try to get itself back to the box. Problems arose when I actually started making the game, as having little to no knowledge of making 3D assets doesn't really help when you're making a 3D game. Which was why I tried combining assets I found online into one big thing, thinking that I could create my scene using these assets. I found the process tedious as my time was up in February and I wasn't done with the store. The worst part was, the assets were difficult to modify and add to the scene, making me feel like I couldn't start the game or have any real progress. That's why in March, I desperately tried to find a simple store so I could start my work on an intro for the game ASAP. I'm not going to say where I found a store, but I got one and it was perfect for my needs. I also found a decent outdoor set, but these sets had a problem too, as the meshes had way too many faces, often causing exporting problems, a terrible time with FPS, and crashing Godot on import. I decided it would be much better to create the smaller projects to learn any tiny things I needed to add to this Cheez-it game. Jesse, I have cancer. Cancer. I have cancer. I have cancer. I don't know why he's smiling. Cancer. Wait, what?
Oh, I don't know, man. See me sus lately.
I think I just beat the game. So I have all these Nintendo Switch... Guys, I don't think my Switch is working correctly.
So, in May, when everything was just about to be wrapped up, my Switch died. Its battery died. So I went to Micro Center and I bought a screwdriver and replaced its battery with my second Switch's battery.
Oh, I forgot to put thermal paste on. And that's in the bottom of it. I gotta grab thermal paste. I gotta do it.
Ah! Shit!
So the game works like this. There's an intro that goes to the outside, and then you go inside, and then the game ends. Yeah. Godot uses functions/methods to allow most of their actions, calling from a tree to find a collection of branches called scenes. Each branch has a node and can communicate with the script. Hey, you can, start playing the game now. I'm done recording. This is